Is your state in danger of falling off the deep end when it comes to winning national titles? Let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's up, my name's Josiah, and in this series of videos we've been analyzing so far the wrestling stats from 1999 to 2019. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about which states have had the most dramatic decrease in national titles in that time. Now, I will get to the increase in the next video, which I also think is just as important to analyze. Starting off, I want to say that there are a couple of states that, more than a couple, that have just had no champs at all. They haven't had national titles, so we're not even going to analyze them, obviously. There are a couple of states that have been consistent, talking about Kansas and New Jersey. New Jersey is a state that's been very consistent. And how am I determining consistency? How am I determining whether a state is increasing or decreasing? Are they on the incline or decline as far as national champs? Well, what I did is I looked at the first 10 years of national titles from 1999 to 2008. And then I looked at the other 10 years. Now, of course, there's one extra tournament in there, but essentially the first half and compared to the second half from 2009 to 2019, and I compared what states were, where the states were. So, unlike other videos, I'm not going to dive into every single state and tell you, who the national champs were, who, what states are increasing, decreasing, but I am going to go through this list and tell you which state is the number one as far as the most dramatic decrease. And I'll be honest with you, whenever I was diving into these stats, it surprised me. I was very surprised to find out which state was the most dramatic decrease in national champions from 2009 to 2019 compared to the previous 10 years. Starting off with Arizona. Arizona had two national champs from 1999 to 2008 and then 2009 to 2019. So, and then they had one. So there's really only -1 decline. And that's how a couple of these are, okay? Is they have one less national champ. It's like, okay, big whoop. They're not really in danger of, falling off as far as a wrestling state, but there are a couple that have more. So another state that has one is California. They had 10 national champs before. They had 9 in the most recent 9 or 10 years. Before 2009, they had Stephen Abbas, who was a 3-time national champ from Fresno. Then then they had Chris Pendleton also during that time. Then post 2009, Jake Varner, Jesse Delgado, Imar. These are some of the wrestlers from California. So really, no, they're not. California's not in danger of anything. They have one last national champ, and especially when you compare it. Okay, this state, California, has had in that time 19 titles. So they're not really in decline of anything. Then you have Colorado, getting a little up there to South Dakota, okay? So they're in the decline only because they've only had one national champ, Brock Lesnar, from 99 to 2019. Tennessee, Virginia, Washington. Get into Wisconsin, okay? Wisconsin went from 5 national champs down to 4. 5 national champs down to 4. Now, before 2009, Ben Askren, Max Askren, Cole Conrad, all national champions. And then post 2009, they have Alex Dieringer. Now, Dieringer won 3 national titles. So, really, during that time, they've had, I believe, 2 total national champions from 2009 to 2019. So, a little bit in danger, Wisconsin. Not crazy, but in danger of falling off. Going up Hawaii. I thought this was just a fun one to mention. Not that, Hawaii was ever on the increase or decrease as far as wrestling is concerned. And honestly, if I'm from Hawaii, there are 1,000 other things I'd rather be doing than wrestling. But that's me. But I just, it'd be a lot of fun. But their national champion was actually from Honolulu. Travis Lee, two-time national champion, wrestled at Cornell from Honolulu, 2003 and 2005. Hawaii hasn't had a national champion since then. And same with Oregon, haven't had a national champion since then. Now, Idaho. Idaho is a state that went from 4 national champs down to 0 in the last 10 years. The last 10 years, they've had 0 national champs. Jake Rosholt from Oklahoma State, 3-time national champion from Sandpoint, Idaho, won. Since then, since that time, the last 10 years, no national champions from Idaho. So kind of falling off a little bit from where they've been. Another state falling off a little bit, Illinois, okay? Since that time, they've had 1 national champ in Tony Ramos since 2009, won in 2014. Before that, TJ Williams, Tony Davis, John Lockhart, Matt Lackey, a couple of these guys, -4. And then Utah also on the decline at -4 national champions. They had 5 pre-2009, and they've had 1 since then. Their 1, of course, being Matt Brown. Before that, Kel Sanderson, major contenders. So Utah kind of falling off a bit. And this is where I think is the most surprising. The number one biggest, dramatic decline, Oklahoma. Oklahoma has been kind of falling off over the last 10 years. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm just looking at the stats here. Stats only. Oklahoma has a difference from the first 10 years, 99 to 2009, 10 national champs. Since that time, they've had 2. 2 only. I mean, of course, that's huge to have a national champion. However, comparatively, 10 to 2, that's a big difference. Pre-2009, Mike Leitner from Oklahoma, Johnny Thompson, Oklahoma State, Tan Ware, 2-time national champion, Johnny Hendricks, 2-time national champion, also from Oklahoma State. A lot of these guys from Oklahoma or Oklahoma State that are wrestling there. The only Oklahoma national champion not from Oklahoma, there are a couple, Jason Powell and Mark Perry. Both of them wrestled, one of them wrestled at Nebraska, Perry wrestled at Iowa. And then since that time, Chris Perry won in 2014, a 2-time national champion. So Oklahoma, surprisingly, is a state with the most dramatic decline in national champions. Now, if you're interested in learning about which state has the most dramatic increase in national champions, you may be interested in this video right here.